Could you believe that a deep-seated hatred spanning to lifetimes could be triggered by a single lotus flower in a tiny ant nest? Could the power of jealousy compel a magnificent golden elephant to personally break off his 6 precious tusks? This is a profound story of love, betrayal, and the inescapable law of karma. Join me as we delve into one of the most moving Jātaka Tales. And please, do not forget to subscribe to the channel so you won't miss any of our upcoming profound and meaningful Buddhist stories. Countless eons ago, in a tranquil forest nestled by a beautiful lake in the Himalayas, lived a majestic king elephant named Chaddanta. This was none other than a previous life of the Buddha, Siddhartha Gautama. He possessed a splendid golden physique and, most remarkably, 6 pristine white tusks that shone with a divine radiance. These tusks were not merely for show. They symbolized the 6 noble perfections of a Bodhisattva: generosity, morality, patience, energy, meditation, and wisdom. Chaddanta reigned as a compassionate and wise king, living a blissful life with his herd of 80,000 elephants. Among them were his 2 beloved consorts, the chief consort Mahāsubhaddā and the second consort Cūḷasubhaddā. Their days were filled with peace and joy in the heart of the lush green forest. But that idyllic existence was about to be shattered by a single, seemingly insignificant moment-to-moment that would sow the seeds of immense karmic suffering for lifetimes to come. One beautiful afternoon, while the king elephant was gathering flowers for his queens, a small accident occurred. As he approached his chief consort, Mahāsubhaddā, he presented her with a large, fragrant lotus flower, a token of his deep affection. In that same moment, a branch he had brushed against accidentally shook loose an ant nest, which fell directly onto his second consort, Cūḷasubhaddā. In her small, insecure, and jealous mind, Cūḷasubhaddā did not see the incident for what it was: simple accident. She only perceived favoritism, a deliberate slight. In her eyes, the beautiful lotus given to Mahāsubhaddā was a symbol of love she was denied, while the ants crawling on her skin were a mark of disrespect and humiliation. A fire of resentment began to blaze within her heart. This hatred grew into a powerful, destructive force, a poisoned arrow that pierced her soul day and night. Consumed by her grievance, she made a terrible vow. She swore, "I vow that in my next life I shall be reborn as a powerful woman, and I myself will cause Chaddanta to lose those 6 precious tusks to repay this unbearable grudge." This vow, uttered with all the bitter rage she could muster, became a potent, negative karmic seed. The overwhelming hatred consumed her, leading the elephant Cūḷasubhaddā to waste away from sorrow and exhaustion. and she soon died, her spirit carrying that vengeful promise into its next rebirth. True to the power of her vow and her intense will, Cūḻasubhaddā was reborn into a position of immense influence. She became the beautiful and beloved Queen Subhaddā in the prosperous kingdom of Bārāṇasī. She had everything a person could desire: wealth, power, and the adoration of a king. Yet, despite living in opulent luxury, the deep-seated hatred from her past life still secretly controlled her every thought, simmering just beneath the surface of her consciousness. The memory of the lotus and the ants was buried, but the feeling of being wronged remained. One day, this dormant poison surfaced. Queen Subhaddā feigned a mysterious and severe illness. Physicians from across the kingdom were summoned, but none could find a cure. She lay in her royal bed, growing weaker by the day, until she finally revealed her one seemingly impossible desire to the desperate king. She declared that the only thing that could save her life was a medicine made from the 6 tusks of the legendary golden elephant Chaddanta, who lived deep within the Himalayan forests. The king was torn. He loved his queen dearly, but the thought of harming such a noble and mythical creature felt wrong. However, seeing her waste away before his eyes, he reluctantly gave the command. He summoned the most skilled and ruthless hunter in the kingdom, a man named Sonuttara. Sonuttara was a relentless and hardened man, known for his ability to track any prey. The king offered him a great reward, and the hunter set off on his perilous journey. For over 7 long and arduous years, Sonuttara traversed dense jungles, crossed raging rivers, and climbed treacherous mountains. He faced countless dangers, but his determination never wavered. Finally, after 7 years, 7 months, and 7 days, he reached the hidden lake where the King Elephant Chaddanta resided. He observed the elephant's habits, his gentle nature, and his daily routines. He then dug a large pit along the elephant's path and cleverly camouflaged himself, donning the saffron robes of a monk to appear harmless. As the majestic King Elephant passed by, Sonuttara took aim with his powerful bow and shot a poisoned arrow deep into the great body of Chaddanta. The poison was potent. The sight of the magnificent King Elephant struck by the arrow, his massive golden form collapsing in agony, is a truly tragic image. It is the physical manifestation of the destructive consequence of hatred. But here, at this moment of intense pain and betrayal, the story takes a pivotal turn. This is the most crucial part of the tale. As the great Bodhisattva lay dying, he looked at the hunter who had just dealt him a fatal blow. But instead of anger, rage, or desire for revenge, the King Elephant Chaddanta did not exhibit a single spark of resentment. His eyes held only a deep, profound calm. With a gentle voice, free of any malice, the King Elephant calmly inquired, "O hunter, why have you done this? What is your purpose for taking my life and wanting my tusks?" Startled by this serene reaction, the hunter Sonuttara confessed the entire story. He spoke of his king's command and the desperate illness of Queen Subhaddā, who claimed only the tusks could save her life. Upon hearing the name Subhaddā, King Elephant Chaddanta understood everything in a flash of insight. The threads of karma woven lifetimes ago had finally converged. A serene smile appeared on his face. That smile was not one of irony or bitterness. It was the smile of enlightenment. It was the profound, unwavering understanding of the law of cause and effect. He looked at the hunter and said, "I do not resent you, hunter, for you are merely an instrument of my own karma. Nor do I resent the queen, for this is the karmic debt I must now pay. I must have sown a certain seed in my past, and today I must harvest this fruit." The King Elephant recognized this moment not as a tragedy, but as his final, precious opportunity to practice the perfection of dhyana, pramita, the ultimate perfection, which involves giving away one's own body and life without attachment. He knew the hunter was too weak to saw off the mighty tusks himself. So, despite his immense pain, the noble elephant rose. He used his own powerful trunk to grip each of his 6 precious tusks, and with his remaining strength, willingly broke them off, one by one, handing them to the stunned hunter. This incredible act embodies a profound spiritual philosophy. It is compassion and forgiveness that ultimately possess the power to dissolve all enmity. When we can truly recognize that the suffering we endure is a result of our own past actions, or karma, we cease to blame or resent others. Acceptance and letting go are the only true paths to liberation from the endless cycle of hatred and revenge. When the hunter Sonuttara returned to the kingdom with the 6 radiant, blood-stained tusks and presented them to Queen Subhaddā, another final tragedy unfolded. The moment the queen laid her eyes upon the magnificent tusks, her quest for vengeance was fulfilled. But there was no peace, no satisfaction, no triumphant cure. Instead, a wave of forgotten memories from her past life as the elephant Cūḷasubhaddā had flooded her mind. She suddenly remembered everything: the tranquil forest, the magnificent king elephant she once loved, the lotus flower, the ants, and her own petty jealousy. The hatred from that previous life which had fueled her for so long vanished in an instant. It was replaced by an unbearable wave of extreme remorse and profound grief. She realized she had destroyed a noble, enlightened being her own former companion for a fleeting moment of jealousy. The weight of her actions was too much for her heart to bear. It shattered within her chest. The queen collapsed and died right there, beside the very tusks she had coveted with all her soul. This story is a clear illustration of the law of karma applied to real life. First, when you sow seeds of jealousy, you harvest seeds of suffering. The root of resentment spanned multiple lifetimes, ultimately causing the death of both the one who hated and the one who was hated. In our modern lives, we see this everywhere. Rivalry and jealousy in our work, our friendships, or our families. If not transformed by understanding and compassion, will only lead to our own exhaustion, stress, and spiritual pain. Second, letting go is liberation. The golden elephant chose a peaceful, regret-free death because he had let go of all attachment to his body, his possessions, and even his own life. This teaches us a powerful lesson to live a peaceful and happy life. We must learn to accept and let go of resentment and the undesirable circumstances that life inevitably throws our way. And third, remorse is far greater than revenge. Queen Sub had a tragic death is the most powerful warning in this story. Revenge brings no peace. It brings no closure. Only sincere remorse and the courage to face our own mistakes can open the door to true awakening and healing. The story of the six-tusked golden elephant transcends the boundaries of a simple fable to become an eternal teaching on the nature of existence. It reminds us of a fundamental truth. Every action, every word, and every single thought we have in this life is a karmic seed. We must be so careful to plant seeds of compassion, forgiveness, and the wisdom of letting go, instead of nurturing the poisonous seeds of jealousy, hatred, and greed. Because, in the end, only unconditional love and profound understanding have the power to sever the chains of karmic entanglement that bind us to suffering. Thank you so much for listening. If this story resonated with you, please like, share, and subscribe for more wisdom from the ancient texts.